Blues are going up. Let's go. Evening all. It is Cardiff City World, and with your host today, Evan James, a last minute super sub to cover for Matt. To be fair to him, he's been working very, very hard, and I thought I would pull off a Nathan Trott save and come in last minute to jump in, give him a rest. But as usual, going back to our old Saturday Night Lives as the way it used to be. God, this is giving me a bit of nostalgia now. Is Mr. Rhys David Evans? How are you? How many injuries have you got at the moment after that? After the limbs at the end?
Well, 5 or 6. I think my side, right hand side, is all in agony. My shoulder's gone. I got elbowed in the jaw. My legs have gone the lot. That ball went in. I don't know what happened.
For those of you who don't know, right, when Doncaster scored their third goal, Rhys started picking fights and was thrown out by the stewards, but he managed to take 2 down with him. No. Oh God, where do we even start, mate? Isn't it? where do we even start?
It's not easy being a Cardiff fan, is it?
It's not. No. But it's never boring, is it? It's honestly like, look, I could go through each goal with you, right? But I think it's best just to start off in, generally speaking, first half and second half, because I feel like it was definitely a game of 2 halves. First half we come out, right, and what was it, 3 goals in the first half, or was it 4? I don't even remember this point.
2 all in the first half, and so 4 goals.
4 goals in the first half. It felt like more at some point, but yeah, there was. First half, okay. What's your opinion on? Okay, let's go for 1-0. The first goal goes in. What's going through your head?
You could see it coming. They were attacking us on the our left hand side a few times. I thought we looked a bit unaware, but a bit slow to react to the ball. I mean, they put the ball in the box, and I think there are 3 or 4 players in the box. They did. And my first words when I made is, "This is how teams score: put players in the box, we get goals." And we don't do enough. But I just thought we started bright. We started brightly. I thought we started okay. We didn't really look dangerous going forward, but we started okay controlling the ball. And I just thought to concede like that was a bit sloppy. But thankfully, it's early enough that's not going to impact us too much, that we can now try and get a foot on the ball now and claw something back. But I was just frustrated, really, honestly, just to concede a sloppy goal as well, I think.
I think conceding first as well, just thinking, oh Christ, we've got to bring this back now, not just score 1, but score 2 if you want to take the 3 points home. And look, I'll be honest, when we come 2-1 up, then I'm thinking, oh, here we go. I predicted 4-1. I remember on my previous thing, I think I said 4-1, and I stuck with that because I didn't think we'd keep a clean sheet. I don't know why, but I didn't. But when I was thinking 4-1, I wasn't thinking, oh, we would concede first. I thought we'd score 3, then score 1, then we'd score another. But I think the order of goals doesn't matter so much, but when you concede first, it doesn't exactly fill you with a lot of confidence, does it? Because then you're always kind of chasing the game then. And even when we went 2-1 up, I mean, we were living life on the danger zone a little bit, faffing around with it, at the back. And I think there were changes that were necessary to be made at halftime, and we'll get there in a second. And guys, I will say even until in just a second, I can see all the comments piling in. I really appreciate it. But yeah, I thought players, I think I'll call them out today because I know how good they can be. And it could be an off day, they could be tired. I don't know what the sort of situation is. It might just be one of those days. But I thought Fish and Bagan to start with were awful. And obviously that will change a bit. Capaccio, I don't think he had a great game. I think people are saying, right, with Capaccio, I want to clear something up. People are saying he can't defend, right? Because the traditional fullback is an attacking sort of wing back sort of role, and that automatically makes people think, oh, he's good at dribbling, so he must be terrible at defending. No, he can defend. I just know today he switched off so many times. The ball went out for a Doncaster throw in, and he's sort of looking around a bit, and then luckily the other Doncaster player wasn't switched on when they took the throw in, so went out for a goal kick. But moments like that, when you're playing against a slightly higher level, when you're talking championship, you can't afford to switch off. And it wasn't just him, by the way. I thought Will Fish as well was probably at fault for 2 goals. But even in the build-up to that, we're not stopping the crosses from coming in. And, Joel Bagan, they attacked his side so much, like you're saying just before we went on air. And you know, it was the right thing they did. They had that Monalou, I think is it. I still can't remember. Yeah, Molyneux, and he's quite a quick lad, right? And I wouldn't mind him signing him like in January, but I think it was just like all down his side and cross the ball in the box, and we just couldn't get out there in time. We just would take forever to close the men down, and no wonder they scored 2 goals like that. But what was your thought on the defence then, first of all, then? I thought it was quite poor to begin with, really.
I thought we started off okay. I thought we started off strong defensively. I thought we cleaned up pretty well. I think Chambers started really strong, read the ball well, got stuck in when his head does. And I don't know what happened, but it just seemed to be I think they had a free kick, did it, right? And you could see they left that Molyneux wide on his own, on the right-hand side wing, like our left wing. And you could just see it, they're going to pass to him and try to put the ball in. And I think they won an header and they went over. And I was like, well, they're attacking us like we're often now. And it's probably because we'll try to launch Isaac on the counter. Then when he's gone forward, if they win the ball back, they rush it quick as they can. I thought we had a little patch in when we were shaky, and then we grew back into it. We scored. I thought Isaac worked his socks off there on the left-hand side, getting behind. His pace is blistering, let's be honest, and to stay up strong as well, I would have to finish and pull you down.
Yeah.
I mean, that was brilliant, but we sort of went in 2-1 and I thought, right, we're controlling the game, and then we sort of switched off again, and it was just a long ball over the top, and it just seemed to beat everyone, didn't it, really? It just, no one...
Reminded me of the Blackpool game.
Both sort of watching the ball a bit, and just disappointed to see that. Because I think only it wasn't until the second half they really looked like a decent team going forward, in my opinion. The first half, I didn't think they looked like they had that attacking threat, really. I thought they had a couple of chances, but it never really felt like they were going to score from them. I just thought it was defensive lacks of concentration. We just gifted them 2 goals.
Yeah, it's I think it was a mirror of the Blackpool game, really. It's just moments of just switching off. Like it was literally just we looked like we were so focused, in control of the game, and then all of a sudden the ball over the top, like you said, and it was almost Sunday League-esque of like, you know, that bouncing ball over the top. And to be fair, the pitch looked quite slippery as well. The amount of times that Ashford or Capaccio slipped as well. I'm thinking why they thought about watering the pitch at half time. I'm not sure if they did, but I can't remember if they did now. I think so. But I'm thinking like it was literally like people were slipping all over the place for your faster players, especially when you have, you know, a faster team. You know, last thing you want to see is them slipping all over the place, and it cost us maybe a couple of chances, but luckily it didn't cost us any goals. But I think, yeah, it's moments of switching off, and it did cost us. And whether we learned the lesson, I don't know, because we won at the end of the day 4-3. As much as obviously I'll take the 3 points, have we learned our lesson out at the back? Because we've kind of, you know, the defense have kind of been let off quite a few times. I mean, it's not every game we're going to score 4 goals, let's be honest. I think we sort of surprised ourselves a bit. I mean, Salek scoring again, and, you know, nice for Kellyman to get a goal and for Ashford. And then obviously Bagan with the 99th. And if I'm being honest, right, if it weren't for that centre-back wasting time to get subbed over the end, like, you know, they might have not played that extra bit of time, but usually when you waste time, it bites you on the back, doesn't it?
Yeah, we were saying this at the game, because as soon as the scoreboard went up, the ball up in 7 minutes, the defenders sat themselves on the floor. And you can see the Cardiff players saying to the ref, now they waste time here. Then they made the sub as well, and after this treatment, not during. So then they added 2 minutes on for that, and thankfully it came bit them back in the arse. But I think the second half, we started so well second half, and then again we sort of switched off, and we allowed them so much space and time in behind our midfield that they caused us so much problems. And then, you know, you're chasing down a last-minute winner. The midfield was static for me, as it was at the end. The lack of movement off the ball was a bit of an issue. I think, you know, as in Lawler had the ball, he's looking forward, it's not a pass to. So he's forced to go back to Kellerman. Not Kellerman, sorry, to Trott, who puts it out wide into the full-back NG, who then looks going forward. It goes so far, then they look back end because there's no movement in the field with the ball onto. It's frustrating, things like that, that's all. But again, it's when you lose, it's when you play bad and you win like that. Is it? No, that's the champions. I mean, it's for us.
We'll say, like, look, it's sometimes we're a bit too predictable, I find, and we get away with it because in League One it'll work, but we heavily abuse the wing. And look, I do like it when we get the ball out wide because it's quite exciting looking at players, taking people on 1v1. And it's still a rare thing we do, though, because even when we get the ball out wide, we do like this wing rotation. And I get it, right? I just hate personally how the game is so overly tactical nowadays. But it's drawing players out of their position, right? But you're playing all that wing play and pass it around that wide. But yet, you've got all of that opportunity to do that through the middle where players will, you draw in centre-backs out of their position and popping it behind them. We have fast enough players to, play players in behind a lot of times and just playing quick, I'm not saying tiki-taka, but quick triangles sometimes, and then just threading it behind as opposed to constantly looking at wide and then passing it to, back around and then having overlaps. Because even when we have overlaps a lot of times, we see many times Bagan overlap with Willock, but then Willock will just slow down with the ball and then pass it back anyway. So it's it does get a bit frustrating that we just can't be more direct like Doncaster were, because they scored 3 goals from being the most direct ever. And, their goals are the most beautiful things. I mean, like that Charlie Crew played a really good pass for second goal, but at the same time, he should never been able to play that pass because it should have been someone man-marking whoever was up front, Hanlon. And I just think sometimes we overcomplicate it when we could just, like we did to Isaac Davis, give the ball to him to run on and he'll muscle off all the players and he'll sprint past them. And that obviously led to a goal. And, I think we do it to ourselves. I don't want to be too overcritical, but I just think sometimes we overanalyze things when we realize, okay, when it's the last 5 minutes of the game and we're looking for a winner, just kick it up there and get bodies in the middle as well, because Salek, all he needs to do is be up in the middle, because a lot of times Salek will drop down and come short. The problem is that when you get the wingers on the ball, they've got no one to cross it into. And like you said, with their team, they had about 3, 4, 5 players in the box when they wanted to score. And again, that's my sort of overly critical point. But I just find sometimes we get ourselves into trouble because all our players are out wide, the furthest away, from the centre. And then because of that, you don't say but because of that, then when the team counterattacks us, we have that much more distance to run back. But that's just my main criticism. But at the same time, we won 4-3. So what do I know?
It's great to see the mentality shift as well in the side, because I think last season, after 3-all, a sucker punch comes in, we drop 5 yards deeper, we stop the press, we invite pressure on. We gift them 3 or 4 more chances, and they're probably going to win if they do last season. So the mentality shift for us to go up the other end and to keep trying to find that winning goal. Even at 98 minutes, 99 minutes on the clock, they're still pushing everyone forward, trying to get that goal. It's great to see that change, because I think it's a belief in the squad now as well. That, we're 1-0 down. It doesn't matter. We start again. We go again. I think we do create chances. I just think sometimes we aren't clinical enough to put them away, but today we were clinical enough. When needed, I'd like to say. But again, 4-3, you come away, is a massive win. I think some of the players might have had their mind on Tuesday night.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Maybe that's a distraction. One or two needed just to get them through a couple of games. Tired legs is, if you're tired mentally, it's tough. But if you've got a reward at the end of playing Chelsea, you'll push through that and put performance in. So hopefully now they'll get a good show against Chelsea on Tuesday, and then they can focus back on the league and no distractions, nothing.
I think Callum Robertson starts against Chelsea not just because of his record against Chelsea, but I think, when Callum Robertson scored the previous game and the goal he scored as well, and then you don't start him, there's 2 things. It's either tactical or they train really hard. Or he's just being rested a bit more for Chelsea, maybe. I don't know. Obviously, he came on towards the end, but you're thinking a guy like Callum Robinson, he's got to be getting more game time than that now, surely. I mean, he's the one person who's actually wanting the ball in the middle of the park, and, players seem a bit resistant still to pass to him. And not that it has to come every time, but it's he'll go out wide, and sometimes he goes missing when, he's in the number 10 role, and he does so much off the ball that people don't give him credit for, similar to Ruben Colwell as well. It's whilst I don't see Callum Robinson pressing as much, he's dragging defenders out the way to create space in the middle. And I sometimes wish we just sort of played a bit more without fear, if that's the case, because I think we win a lot more games if we just play without fear. I mean, now's the chance to do it in League One. We've got 4 points clear at the top now. So we've got a little bit of breathing room, and I'm sure we want to give it all against Chelsea. Obviously, I want to see it. I would absolutely love us to win. Do I think we're going to win? I think we still have a decent shot in it, even though they're probably going to play their first team. You look at the upsets that we've caused before. Let's be honest. Most people didn't expect us to beat Wrexham, if we're being honest. But we've done it, and who's to say we can't do it against Chelsea? I just think now that maybe that game's over. The players are a bit thinking of, oh, thank God for that. We've got that out of the way. We got the 3 points. Now we can just focus all on Chelsea then. I'm guessing, I don't want to speak too much about the game yet, but I'm guessing that you'll go with the stronger side again for that game.
Yeah, and again, Kellerman can't play. I think Capaccio can't play. Because he's yellow cards, isn't he? So he's out. He's missing that, and obviously no Rubens. So will be NG. It will be probably. I mean, I'm a bit worried to say because I thought Isaac was outstanding first half. I thought he was our man of the match first half. He was brilliant, running behind, his pace, his power, getting behind defender. It was outstanding. The only reason I can see him coming off is if he's picked up a knock off, he's really tired or struggling. Because if it was tactical, nothing against Willock, but I thought today you're comparing Willock's 45 minutes to Isaac's 45 minutes. You can't compare it. Isaac was outstanding. He was just on top form. So I'm hoping it's nothing serious and maybe it was just a tactical thing. But if you start Isaac on the wing on Tuesday, you got a chance to either play Willock at the 10 or Callum Robinson at the 10. But then, selfishly, I'm looking at it thinking, I want Salah to get rested. I want Wintle to have a rest. I need Bagan to have a rest. But then I also want to beat Chelsea, so it's a tough one. It's a game we don't need, but it's a game they've earned.
Yeah, that's the best way of putting it. It's a game we don't need, but yeah, I think you play Callum Robinson at striker because I think that is his normal position. And yes, he can do a job elsewhere, but for so far we've made him do a job elsewhere for so many games, and he hasn't really gotten a lot of game time for us, but he has been scoring. And people say, his form's patchy. I get that, but he also hasn't really started a lot of games compared to Salek. Salek is the number one option. I get that. I just think now, once he get a chance, play him in his normal position, see what he can do there. There's no pressure to win the game, which is why I feel like putting him up there won't be a mad thing. I would like to see Salek against Chelsea, but at the same time, I want to keep him a bit on low profile so he doesn't get any more scouting done on him, which probably will be anyway. But if Salek scores against Chelsea, I'm sure clubs will be paying a lot more attention to him then, as if they're not already. But guys, by the way, I will say that there's a bunch of comments, and just in a sec after a word from Syed, we're going to go through loads of comments. Can't read them, every single one of them out. So if you are inclined to, you can leave a super chat. That means it's guaranteed that we can read out your comment. I see loads of people tuned in tonight as well. Get your comments in now, and I'll be back in just a second.
Christmas is coming, and let's be honest, so is the stress. Family are popping over, friends are dipping in, and suddenly you're noticing everything that needs cleaning. The carpets, the oven, the bits you've been putting off all year round. But that's where How Low Services come in. They take the pressure off with one-off or regular domestic cleans, oven cleaning, carpet cleaning, steam cleaning, fumigation or sanitization, so your home feels fresh, clean and guest ready. No panic cleaning, no late nights, just a home that you can be proud to open the door to. They cover all of South Wales area. How Low Services are reliable, professional, and they are here when you need them most. So this Christmas, you can focus on your guests, your family, and the moments that really matter the most. Let How Low Services handle the clean. Book now via their Facebook page or on WhatsApp using the number below, and enjoy a stress-free Christmas.
Love that from Saiga in the festive spirit, eh? All right, then, let's go to some lovely people in the comment section. Let's say evening to all of you, first of all. Evening, Cardiff City fan. Evening, Graham. Evening, Jonathan, Mordecai, Graham again. Ian Dalglish. We've got CCFCO2. I'm sorry, I'm not sure who that is because I'll see the change of the stupid YouTube tags. Who else we got in here? Jonathan. Paul, even Paul never misses a show, I tell you that. Even if he never comments, he's still there. Lewis Bevan, evening. Nice to meet you in person as well. Barry Edwards. Who else we got? I'm scrolling far all the way down. Lorna, evening.
Evening, Mum.
Sally. Jumpers for goalposts. Nice to see you again. Another regular. Darren Jameson. God, we got loads here. I am Teb. Oh God, I say this wrong. Tebutis. Have I said that? Have I pronounced that wrong? And the wrong. Oh God, that's all right. And Richie Addis. Nice to see you all again. Let's go through your lovely comments. So, evening lads, evening. Oh, they were just saying evening now again. You've seen the Cardiff now. Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna leave that there for long. Fair play to Donny. They worked hard. So glad for Bagan. I think he redeemed himself with that goal, didn't he? Because if I'm being honest, I think the first 2 goals you could probably say he's at fault for. But at the same time, he sticks his leg out with the intention of blocking it, and it goes through his leg. So I don't know.
I thought Donny were good for the money, and I'm surprised if they play like that. I'm surprised they are where they are in the league. But then I said that about Port Vale, and I think they rock bottom. They Port Vale,
more or less, yeah.
You know, it's. But I thought Donny were. To be fair, Doncaster really good side today. I thought Grabber set them out tactically, and they did create chances. And again, if they play like all season, they should be fine. But again, I've watched a couple of championship games this season. They've been boring. You watch that today. You watch that today, thinking that's more exciting and more entertaining than a championship game.
Oh yeah, I mean, let's be honest. If it was Sheffield United versus Sheffield Wednesday, even though it's a Sheffield derby, I would have been bored out of my mind. I'd rather watch, Doncaster versus Luton or something, because at least he's going to have some kind of exciting stuff going on there. I think as well that because they've come up as well, you got to realize as well, for us, right, we're going down a league into a lower division, right? Whereas they're coming up, so for them it's a massive step up, and for us, yes, it is a step down in a way. We've had a complete new squad, play against loads of youngsters, but you're forgetting these are coming from our academy, who at the time we were in the championship, so they already had maybe a little bit of experience or some cup game experience against better teams, and then you got like Doncaster come up from League 2. And look, it's a dogfight for the bottom half. I know 4 teams get relegated in League 1 and 2. So, the fact that they stuck 3 past us, regardless of how poor we could say defender was initially, there is some quality in that to keep them up. I think they will be in a dogfight till the end, mind. I think they will stay up, but I don't know who else you got down there that's probably going to take it. Do you reckon Plymouth getting back-to-back relegation, or...?
I mean, I don't rate them. I think they look really poor, really weak. I think I know Jonathan put in the group chat about it. There was a fan from Plymouth and he's saying that they'd rather Tom Cleverley over BBM any day. And I'm thinking, really? I mean, come on. I won't be surprised. But then it's funny you mentioned about Donny going up because momentum is such a big thing in football. I mean, we are coming down and it can go one or two ways. We could either crumble and struggle because the relegation hangover. A team like Doncaster gets promoted and momentum's on their side and they fly through the league. But it's great to see that we have no hangover. The youngsters are stepping up and they put in teams, let's be honest, they put in teams that experienced pros, I say. That, like the dogfight, like to get stuck in, leave a foot in. The youngsters are showing them that we can still do it and play our own way and not have to change for other teams. And again, apart from a couple of sloppy mistakes, teams aren't threatening us really. Apart from a few mistakes, they don't look like they're threatening us, and maybe that's a false thing. Maybe we've been lucky so far, but I have no doubt that come January, 1 or 2 signings into the squad, a bit of cover, the left back, 1 or 2 other positions, we'll be flying. I think we'll be fine. I think we look. I mean, how many times have we seen other clubs come on and say, "Oh, that's the best I've seen a team play against us this year"?
Yeah,
Look,
they're not saying that about Luton, are they? I mean, Luton have been 7th for as long as I can remember. But to answer your question now, the reason why we don't have any hangover from last season is because we let all our tipsy players go. So I couldn't wait to get a line in. But no, it's we have almost completely transformed the squad. I mean, look, 5 wins in the last 5 games. I know Rosie scored today as well. The past skipper scored for Plymouth. And they're 21st now, so they're at the top of the So they're the first in terms of like the relegated positions. But funny enough, Doncaster playing them next. So that will be interesting. A Doncaster at home as well. So, I don't want to focus too much on the teams, but I want to say with Plymouth, just to sort of like compare them to us. The fact that they won 3 of their last 5 games. But the thing is now, right, both Doncaster and Plymouth have got 2 wins and 2 losses in the last game. So it's like, form table there. How would you know who's in better form at this point? Because, yes, Plymouth are coming off the back of 2 wins. But and if I'm being honest, Doncaster played us last, lost 4-3. They still got 3 against us. And they lost to Stockport as well. So no joke of teams. But I don't know. I just look at the bottom there. I mean, Blackpool look like they'd almost sit in there now anyway, I think. Port Vale as well. I'm a bit surprised with AFC Wimbledon, mind. They've kind of sort of like plateaued a bit, but they had a really good start to the season, and again against us as well. They really made us fight for our win there.
Yeah, it's hard to judge some of these teams as well because like they do raise the game against us. It's not the ego thing to say. I mean, you see some of these teams that play against us and they put in a performance. You're thinking they play brilliant today. Then a week later, they lose 4-0 to someone else at fighting relegation.
Yeah.
And this league is topsy-turvy. And again, I just think some of these teams will up their performance against us. Are we still coming out on top of it? So it's only that makes us look better.
I guess it's found this comment. Cardiff City fan says, my brother said to leave 97th minute, and I said, you never know. Thank God I did. Well, I'm assuming it didn't. But
so many left as well. And I was 96 minutes, 97. So many left. There was empty seats all over around us. It was, and the moment that ball went in, oh my!
Luckily, there was a spare extra seats just in case there's more casualties. Christ, it'd be like an avalanche. You see, what was that? You see, there's kids pitching invade, because I was watching it through the Cardiff City TV on the VPN, as you do, and it was just, I didn't get to see it, obviously, but apparently I just heard the commentators talking about, where's their parents or whatever,
Yeah, it looked like two, all I could see in the distance was 2 people jump on the pitch, or someone on the pitch, run around, back into the stand, down the steps, they looked like come back up the steps, then we're running up, I don't know what was going on.
I don't think they knew that they weren't allowed to go on the pitch probably. They thought it was just like a little playground area. They just, I don't know.
They looked, from where we were, they looked like teenagers, but...
okay.
Again, it's brilliant to see. It was funny to see, mind.
Oh, God. One kid nearly got away. Because I heard all of a sudden, the crowd go away, whatever. And sometimes, right, I will just say this. I do not condone, I do not support anybody pitch invading. But it is quite funny when you see, a slow steward or stewards trying to catch a pitch invader, and then it's like a game of, American football there, where they're trying to dodge or whatever, and every time they dodge a tackle, the crowd just goes away, and eventually, obviously, they do get pinned down. But, it's just, I never understand why people do that. You get, your 10 seconds of fame, but then you're banned for God knows how many years then. It's is it worth it really? I don't know. Didn't prevent a goal scoring chance anyway, so.
I'm not a fan of it personally. I remember Chris Kirkland got attacked by a Leeds fan. And then Warnock blamed Chris Kirkland. I remember Jack Grealish getting punched by a Burner fan.
Oh yeah.
This is why you don't want to pitch, because you don't know who's got what idiots on the pitch.
No, exactly.
So I know they're kids, and hopefully it's just a slap on the wrist and a warning. But again, there's got to be rules to stop things like that happening. But
to me, you've got to have the harsh punishment, because it prevents it from happening in the first place. If the punishment's that harsh, then then they show no mercy. But that's how I see it. But I mean, like you said, it probably will just be a slap on the wrist of 1 game ban or something, which they're probably not free for anyway. But I didn't see it on TV. The number 7, Molineux is the best player, and we kept leaving him in space. To be fair, though, I just think he is an intelligent player. I think, honestly, I know we've been linked with that Camille Jabbar, I think his name is. I wouldn't be against signing that Molineux, because he's got some pace on his mind, and he can actually dribble as well. It was the one player who could actually control the ball and dribble. I find a lot of times when they ping long balls to each other, or even if they put on the ground, they couldn't control it. There was times their touches were awful. And it made me feel like how we conceded 3 goals against them.
I thought he was decent with the space ahead of him. I think if we closed him down like the teams do with a Ruben for us, I think he'd have been quiet. I think he's in his late 20s. Anyway,
Is he?
I think the one I've been impressed with out wide is Ballard from Leighton Orient. They out wide from me, looks brilliant. And his striker, Connolly. I thought he looked deadly when he played against them.
He's too good to... What was he doing in League One? I genuinely don't have a clue.
Well, he was at Brighton, wasn't he?
Brighton,
and
yeah.
They released him, so...
Where did
I think
he
he went
go?
Hull City.
Yeah.
And then he went... now he's in League One, and he is too good for League One. I think he went 1-on-1 without keeper, didn't he, 3 or 4 times? And he only scored once, thankfully, but...
Hey, to be fair, we've got quite a few players who are technically classed too good for League One. I mean, Callum Robinson, Yusuf Salek, Ruben Cole. I mean, like I say, loads of players. I think the one thing I could say, though, is if they're under a certain age, you could say maybe they're still developing, they're still patchy and all that. But you look, I mean, you think of the likes of Callum Chambers and Chris Willock. Those are 2 names you would never think you would hear them play in League One. But yet they are, like here they are. Nathan Trott, second backup keeper for Copenhagen. Like, what the hell is he doing in League One? You know what I mean? Like, get him signed now.
No offense, if Nathan Trott is the backup for Copenhagen, I'll have to see what the number 1 looks like.
Yeah.
Because he's by far one of the best keepers I've seen. He's definitely the best keeper in this league. Some of the saves he pulls off are ridiculous. He is outstanding. I mean, nothing against the keeper we played against today, right? But you look at the guy in goals for them, say now with Doncaster, he looks so ropey. He was not confident with the ball at his feet.
Oh, yeah, he was awful.
He was just trying to launch it as quick as he could to get rid of it. I mean, it was reminds me of, I said earlier, Horvath, at the end. The shot comes in, he parries it into danger zones. Rather hold on to it, or he parries it into a danger zone, and that's where Baker scores. And you think,
that was complete panic, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's the difference between the top-class keeper like we got, and no offence, a League One keeper.
I wouldn't even say... I think he was the weak link of the team, though. I genuinely think, his passing at times was okay, but then he would... some of the balls he would put, just completely out of touch. But every time we pressed him, he panicked all the time. Like, he did the Horvath hesitations, I call them, the Horvath hezzies. In hezzy is like a basketball move, but he does that in football, and sometimes it really does scare me, and that's what he was doing as well. And you could see the crowd going, "Oh!" every time. It was quite entertaining, but at the same time, I would hate to have him by the sticks. No disrespect again, but it shows the difference as well. I mean, let's be honest, Nathan Trott is not a League One standard keeper. He could be in the Premier League next season, like January, and he was in the Premier League with West Ham at one point, I think. Yeah. But again, utterly privileged to have him. I pray that we go up. But if I'm being honest, without Nathan Trott, I still think we'd be chasing the playoff position right now. Because as good as the quality we have in our squad, he saved us a bunch of times. He saved us so many points.
Yeah, and I made half time. I said there's at least 3 more goals in this second half. We need to pepper their goal because they're not being that keeper looks so ropey. He's going to drop something or he's going to totally miss something. I'm surprised we didn't put more pressure on the keeper because he was there. It was there for today. I thought so poor. But again, I said earlier, I think Ryan Winter was standing yet again. Now, I remember last season when he was at Millwall, I just said, look, you can't get a Millwall side. He was celebrating when Bullock got sacked. I just said, I didn't think he should come back to us. He's come back. He looks like he's matured. He's proved me wrong. He's been absolutely brilliant. And his assist for Salek today, he doesn't even take a touch. The ball comes into him. He sees Salek and he just launches it, pinpoint accurate, into space for Salek to get in on. Wintle was absolutely outstanding today. And it was good to see at the end as well. He went over to the kids in the front of the canter and gave a shirt to one of them.
Oh, nice.
I just thought, you know what? He's maturing brilliantly into a proper leader. Wintle, I've been so impressed with him. And he's become a bit of an unsung hero. Oh,
yeah, I think so. I think... At first, I was thinking, no, I wouldn't see Wintle as a captain, especially when you come back on loan from Millwall. He's not been in the squad for a while, to be fair. But if, I would probably rather him than Chambers captain, only because I see Wintle as a more regular starter. I think Chambers is definitely up this game this season. And look, let's not get it wrong, it is League One, but it's no joke of a league. And I said before, I would probably give it to Bagan really because he's been around this squad one of the longest serving. He's 102 or 3 appearances now for the club, and he's been Mr. Reliable and Mr. Consistent for ages. But like Wintle as well, and I was surprised. I was proven wrong by the Wintle and Turnbull partnership. Give it some time, and it does work quite well. I don't know because Wintle again, he does all like the behind the scenes stuff that like people aren't really gonna sort of notice as much, but he's just a calm influence, isn't he? Like he's not the traditional. He's not like a destroyer number 6 or anything as such as Osho could possibly bring. Like an Aaron Gunnis or whatever. But he's definitely a more modern defensive midfielder. I'm not really sure how to describe it.
Yeah, I think he's very influential. Like he does break at the play really well. He runs about a lot. He gets stuck in, and he drops deep to pick the ball up off the back forward to get things moving.
Yeah.
And the problem is when it doesn't work with him and Turnbull, it's only because there seems to be a lack of movement ahead of him to put the ball into. And it's not just when it's him, it's others as well. There's a lack of movement ahead of him. But today I thought he was absolutely brilliant, picking that ball about. Again, he just gets stuck into charges. He's got the team going. It's just really influential, a proper leader today. I thought he stood out to me. I thought he was brilliant. I said to my mate at the time, I said, I'm glad he's proved me wrong because he was, he's 1 foot of the door last season. Or 2 feet on the door for me. So for him to come back and do that, fantastic. Honest to God. Just long may continue as well. I thought he was unfairly dropped at one point earlier in the season. I think looking back, we struggled without him a bit.
Yeah, I think so. I will have to interrupt you just a second because we just got a new member, Lewis Bevan. Welcome. Welcome to YouTube member. Twice, apparently. There we are. Thank you so much for joining the... I was going to say the nation then, but I didn't want to get that mixed up. But thank you so much for joining Cardiff City World as a member. Again, guys, if you're not already, please do become one because exclusive shows that we do every single week, and you get early access to tickets, live events, and other things that are coming out as well. You get early access to videos that are coming out, like interviews that we got, a Dave Jones interview coming out. I'm pretty sure members already have access to it now. Sai's going to kill me for getting that wrong now, but so honestly,
I think he did say members will get early access to that interview.
No, I'm not sure if it's, I'm not sure if that's the one that's out right now, but if I go back my messages, I'll find out for you. But honestly, guys, for price of a cup of coffee, if not less, and it really does help out the channel. But Lewis, thank you for coming a member, and I believe you're the first person to recognize me in public as well, so all the better. I've completely lost now what comment I'm on now, so let's go back a bit. We were talking about Bagan squad. There we go. Okay, so Ashford, class today.
Brilliant. I thought he worked really hard. He carried the ball so well. I think he dragged their player. Is it the one of the midfielders out of position a few times because I think he gave their fall back such a torrid time that the midfielder was dropping deeper and deeper and coming across, and it sort of opened up a bit of a gap in the middle. I just thought. I think NG in the second half picked the ball up. I was running through that space quite a few times that it was that Ashford helped create. Like I thought he was brilliant. His work rate, not 90 minutes, not running non-stop.
He doesn't stop, yeah. I don't get it.
What an engine he has. Like, I mean, first and foremost, forget about any end product, forget about the assists and all the goals and everything. It's that non-stop running is what makes you love players. They will run non-stop 90 minutes, and that was brilliant. And him on the right today, I thought was fantastic. And then, what is it? Isaac on the first half was fantastic.
What's his? I was gonna say then. Ashford's. He's got such like a baby face, but yet like he's got some of the most aggression I've ever seen in a player. When I saw him at the start of last season, it looked like he could barely run for about 40 minutes. Because I think he was just trying so hard, but now his gas tank is just almost unlimited, isn't it? But it's because every game he's running until he literally can't no more, and you know when he can't run no more, it's because he stops defending, and that's not because he's being lazy. That's because he simply can't track back, and he's always been one to defend first. And to be fair to like the likes of Bullet and Reza, I give it credit where it is due. He did coach him into defend first, everything. I think he always gives cover as well, and I think we kind of lacked a bit with Isaac on Bagan's side today. But at the same time, again, we'd launch long balls, Isaac, and he would run pelt and run for it, and again, he's not just fast. he is a lot stronger as well. And I think Ashford is slowly getting a bit stronger. I think over maybe the summer, he could bulk up a little bit more, because I think he is still, he's still quite young and he's got time to grow a bit more. And, I think he would, he would do good to do some strength training. I'm sure he all will anyway. But if he just gets a bit more of that in there, he'll get more power as well. And he's just non-stop energy, isn't he? But I think, not just him to single him out, but even Salah today when he's pressing, like, very rarely he'll get on the ball, but he's such an underrated part in winning the ball back, because he was making their keeper nervous every time. Like we said, he pressed them, and one time he almost got it, to be fair.
I thought that was the mistake we made at half-time, was taking Davis off, because second half, the amount of times the ball was launched forward and Salah was winning a flick on headers and stuff, and he was knocking them into space. But the pace of Isaac, it was Willock, and he didn't have the pace to get to the ball first. But he was there, he was winning flick on stuff. I just thought, if he got that pace, he's on the end of that right now. And again, it was just a lucky. I'm hoping it was a tactical decision for Isaac and not an injury, or not, picked him over a sore leg or something. I hope it's nothing like that, because we need him fit.
I don't know. I think, I don't know what kind of sort of percentage-wise Isaac Davis is fit now. I don't know if he's fully fit or if he's still not like 100%, because like with Kellyman as well, like, I'm sure he could play the full game, but he's not gonna, Like he's probably still got a bit in him, thinking like, I better just not go over the edge just a bit. And maybe there's the same with Isaac Davis. I don't know, because Isaac Davis had a very bad long-term injury, so he always seems to have it pre-seasons, doesn't he?
He's had a few times. Yeah, I think it's because he's such an explosive player. I remember watching Sky Sports, I think it was. They were saying, players have that fibre where they're just gone. Like, because they do the sprint so much, it's sprint stop. Their hamstrings go easier. So it might just be a case of they're trying to limit his minutes, so he's not doing 90 minutes, and therefore he's not risking his hamstring. I hope he's fine, because again, he's been absolutely outstanding in the last few games, and especially today. Again, first half, he was the best player on the pitch for us first half.
Yeah, I think it's the way they run as well, because they're running in such velocity and everything. They kind of got learn how to run again in a way, like I say, when they're such a fast player. Because a lot of times I run literally just on like my tippy toes in a way. I can't remember what you call it, but I don't usually have to run heel to toe. But when you're sprinting so fast, sometimes you're spending more time in the air than you're not, and when you're landing as well and turning as well, when you're quite agile, it's not going to do well on your ankles either, I'll tell you that. Just the Jet 2 holiday thing is just, I don't know, I feel like booking a holiday now. There was a meme at one point, if you're lucky to be young enough like me, 23 years old, where there's a meme going around where it started out where you see people fighting on holidays in Tenerife or somewhere, right? And you'd have Jess Glynn's music playing, Darling Hold My Hand, with the Jet 2 holiday. But the problem is now, with the meme become a thing where people will just play that music over anything. So I just thought it'd be quite random. But it makes me feel I'm on holidays now. The fact that we got through that game, we won it.
There's some of the comments I've never seen it. Keep saying Ada Gula. What the hell does that mean? Was he the team of Ruben Colwell or something? Is he?
I don't know. What's his name? Adu.
Come on, mate. He's not Ruben Colwell. Let's be honest.
Is this one of their players? Is it?
I haven't got a clue who he is. I don't recognize his name.
Let's have a look.
But it's been posted about 4 or 5 times now.
Is this one of the more recent comments? Because I haven't got that far yet.
Yeah, I think he spammed in the chat. Yeah.
I'll have a look later on and see if there's anything about it, but I won't get straight away just in case it's an anagram for something else. Could have done with Joel on today in that midfield. I think you could have easily put him in there, but I think it was screaming Callum Robinson, really. If we're looking to get a late winner, and especially with that Stevenage winner, you're probably more likely to bring on Robinson, aren't you, than Joel Cole. And if I'm being honest as well, you look at the wage difference as well, you're thinking, I'm probably going to have to play Callum Robinson to keep him happy as well. I don't know, you could have... I don't know why they brought Turnbull. Turnbull is not someone I would bring on when you only have about 15, 20 minutes to go, if I'm being honest. He's someone I'd rather start knowing you can take him off, or at least give him 30 minutes. I'm not sure how long he actually had. But I don't know, because he's a bit of a slow player. Same with like Willock when they brought him on at half time. I didn't think they should have really, but I'd rather Willock come on at half time than when there's maybe 10, 15 minutes less, because Turnbull's or like Willock's not someone you see is going to be like a game changer as such, would you? I mean, like Joel Cole, you put him anywhere and he's going to like run, like sprint. If you give him 10 minutes, he'll be sprinting more or less 10 minutes. If you put Turnbull on for 10 minutes, he's not going to be sprinting, everywhere pressing, is he? His role is going to be just to sit a bit deeper and dictate the play from behind. But I don't know. Would you have played Joel Cole instead of someone else, or?
I would have played Joel instead of Turnbull, and I think it's Turnbull, but I thought, like I said, the last 15, 20 minutes, he brings so much energy and pace in the midfield. He's closing down, he's getting stuck in, he's helping Wintle in defensive roles, and he's going forward, he's running forward. I think Robinson coming on the 10 is a smart move, because if you watch Robinson, right, he's a very intelligent footballer. He knows when to drop off a defender, and he'll find space, and all of a sudden, he'll be in a circle of 3 or 4 players. He can get the ball and he can move it on before they even come close to him. I think he's very intelligent, Callum Robinson is, and you see that when he's always looking behind him to see where the defender is. Defender's close, he'll just slowly wander away. And yeah, I just thought Joel brought more energy in the middle than Turnbull. I thought Turnbull slowed the game down again as well. The ball comes to him. We're desperate for a goal to go forward. I understand, there's lack of movement ahead of him, but it's like he turns back, gives it back to the defence. They give it to Wintle, and Wintle looks to push it forward. And I'm thinking, I'm looking for Turnbull to be doing that. I'm looking for him to get the ball, make something happen, bring it forward, unlock a defence or pass to the channels, but he doesn't seem to do that as much as we want him to. And I don't know, maybe he doesn't have as much time on the ball as... Maybe he has more time on the ball than he thinks he has, but therefore he just panics and he slows down a bit and passes it off. I expect more from Turnbull, that's all. I don't know if that's because of what he's done previously. I don't know if that's unfair, but I expect more from him. I want him to succeed. He's got a goal in him, let's be honest. We've seen some of them shots, lad. But I don't know if he just needs one goal and then they'll all come. But you just want him to do a bit more with the ball at his feet. You cry out for it, like.
I don't think the way we play suits him. That's what I think. Because it was a club signing. I think it's all pretty much clear by now. It's a club signing. I think the way we want to play now, it doesn't suit him as much as when we did under Reza. Maybe, I'm not sure. But even then, he was either injured or it didn't quite work. I mean, he had his purple patch with Alex Robertson. I thought it worked really well. I mean, that was towards the start of Reza's reign, but it's frustrating because we never seem to take shots from the middle, like unless it's like obviously in the box. And only really the last 5 or so games, we've actually started to cross the ball more, which was, a breath of fresh air. Before that, we would still look for the perfect sort of Arsenal passing in the box. And look, against League One, we might be able to get away with that a few times. But if we're struggling to do that in League One, why are we trying to keep that as our main way for when we got the Championship or Premier League? Look, we haven't got the players yet. I understand these players will grow into that style, and they have. To be fair, they've grown into this possession style, and I think in such a short time, and we've done so well with the complete change of the culture, philosophies, everything. The changing room and atmosphere and everything. But at the end of the day, right, these are still really young players, and they've got so many bags of energy, right? Limiting them to this kind of possession football, yes, it's safer, but it's like young players want to be sprinting, they want to be sort of like chasing the ball in a way. I know it's obviously not as pretty to watch, but the way I see it is like quick passing and just getting as many shots off as possible. Whereas I find we try to look for the picture perfect one, and sometimes it can be quite frustrating for the likes of like Callum Robinson, who's not going to get the ball that much. Because yes, he's doing a job. His tactical role is to sort of draw players out of position, and he does that anyway, regardless of whatever tactic. But like, I can understand how frustrating it could be for someone like Ruben Colwell as well, where you might be having a great effect off the ball, but you don't see the attacking midfielders get on the ball that much. You know what I mean? It's like, you see that Molyneux as well. Like he was running, he was cutting inside, he's doing everything. He's like, he was almost everywhere. And yeah, he didn't score, he didn't assist or whatever, but he was controlling the game for them. And I feel like he was probably given more of a free roam role. I don't think we really got much flexibility in that. I feel like it's very rigid and very structured. And that I feel like, and sometimes it was working great now, amazing. But maybe I'm thinking in the future we get the championship, better teams will figure that out a lot quicker than us, because we have been caught out a few times. But that's just my sort of like, I won't say like worry, but my kind of like concern for future. Like I feel like eventually, later on the season, teams are going to have enough information on us then. I don't know. Maybe I'm just digressing a bit.
One thing I wasn't really happy about to say, and it's been a bugbear of mine for a while. First off, well done to Chris Willock actually crossing the ball inside, beat this man on the outside and put the ball in. I thought that was brilliant. Finally, I'm glad he was doing that. We were crying out for that. But at the corners, taking them short, we were closed down every single time. The ball went back to the defence, to the keeper, and we'd lose momentum.
Yeah.
We're taking them short, and we're not putting the ball in the box. We're just overplaying it and losing it. They would close us down way too quick. It was frustrating, that was.
Yeah. I was bringing up this comic, so I don't think I got the pull yet. It is frustrating, isn't it? Because it's like, you kill the momentum, and then it's like the fire's already died out now, so now you've got to start... you got to start the fire all over again. Then you have to look for the right sort of resources to start that fire. And it's like, while it was burning, you could have just kept on topping it up with wood. And it's like, keep the fire burning. Like don't let it die out, because a lot of times, for a large portion of it, right, the crowd sounded pretty quiet. And once we sort of come back, then scored our second goal. You could hear the crowd come alive a lot more. Then thinking, oh Christ, I didn't hear that at first. God knows how long for. Paul saying, remember when Leeds were top of the Premiership? Look what happened that night. Never say never. We can turn over Chelsea like we did Leeds. 100%. I don't disagree with that.
I'm very keen to see the atmosphere on Tuesday in my mind, because it's going to be fully packed out place. I'm really keen to see what the atmosphere is like, because for Wales games, the stadium generates an atmosphere. At Cardiff games, I mean, even when we beat Swansea, there's a big lot of lulls in the noise of the crowd. I don't know.
Yes, it's I don't know. I think what was it? A packed out crowd there for Tuesday, sold out or not?
Completely sold out.
There we are then.
Glory bouncing.
So yeah, I think it's just going to be similar to like that Swansea game where where we more or less sold out. I think it was after that protest, wasn't it? And you had obviously sadly Omar Reese's dad passing away. So it's probably not been. Do you reckon it's been a year since that game now, is it? Or was that in January or something?
I think, was that? No, it was January time. I went to the away game at the start of the season, and that was like the
of course,
game.
yeah. There's a protest.
Yeah, it was in the January, because it was Salik's first game for us. It was, and he manhandled 3 of the jacks on his own. He did. The place is bouncing, and then after that, I think it was Derby County, and the stadium was empty.
Wait, was it Salik's first game, or was it Darlan's, or was that a season before that then? Because Darlan's first game was Swansea.
Swansea away, that Darlan's first game was. That was the start of the season. And it was Salik's first game was Swansea at home. And I think three of their players tried to have a go at him, and he had 3 of them with his hands like that he did.
Yeah, one hand was like... Mind you, at the end of the game, some people had a go at him, and I'm not sure what happened there, but obviously Donny weren't happy that they lost that game, were they? I mean,
from the group chat earlier, apparently Callum Chambers went over to the away fans and did a cheerio wave to him.
Oh, right. That's right. To be fair, Salik was out egging them on a little bit, I will say. Plymouth will stay up. They're starting to win games now. I don't know. At the moment...
We did. We won 2 games in a row, and it went pear-shaped for us. Again, this league is wild.
Yeah,
you could win today and lose 4 bounce. This league is crazy.
We went 8 games unbeaten, guys, or 8 or 9 or whatever. We only picked up like about 2 wins in that run, but we had the rest of the draws, and that really peed me off. That did. 8 or 9 unbeaten. Yeah, all right. Could have kept Cardiff. Sorry. Shouldn't say that. Are you going to Chelsea's game Tuesday? Reece, are you going? Yeah. I'm watching from home.
I'm there, but I'm sat on my own for this game because I used my season ticket seat and gave it to my mother. So my mother is around my mates, so my mother will be safe. And I've got the spare ticket then. Tickets. I'm sat on my own. So
hey, I sit on my own almost every game now, so I'm not sure what you're complaining about.
I won't mind, but it'll be strange not being in my actual seat, that's all.
That's
fair.
Yeah,
I'll be there Tuesday.
There we are. I mean, I think we've already said our thoughts on Trot, but all I can say is sign him up now. If we get to sign him in January, just do it now. I don't care if we don't go up. Well, I do. I want to go up, obviously, but I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait until we go up. I just want to sign him now. I don't care how much you have to pay him. Just get it done. You want to see?
It's crazy, isn't it, how good he is. Like, and to be fair, whoever scouted him, whoever suggested him, fair play to you.
Like, touch wood, right? I think he's probably had like maybe one blunder so far. I'm not sure if it was an own goal where I can't remember if it was him who was. He sort of miscontrolled the ball, or that might be Matt Turner. I can't remember. I think there was maybe one goal, something like that. But apart from that, he's like, the saves, and again today as well. Yeah, he conceded 3, but I don't think it was much fault of his own. But it's like he makes the saves when you really needed them. It's not just like the routine saves. It's like the clearing on goal, and he saves, gives us a lifeline when we've just scored a goal, we've just taken the lead, for example, and then he'll just save one. He'll save it just after we score, because a lot of times we score and we're too caught in the hype, and then he's always switched on. He never switches off for one moment. And that's at the other moment, didn't he? When he fake kicked it and almost like a Cruyff turn or something, or he turned the defender or the attacker, and he just slid past him.
Yeah.
I know everyone was all like, "Oh God, Christ, we get rid of the ball." But to him, he was probably really composed. He thinks about everything, doesn't he?
The best way to look at a keeper sometimes is, like, I think it was in Mansfield, I think, 2 weeks ago. 3-0 up, it's about 85th minute in the game. They've done nothing all game. Then they get a chance, and he's still switched on. Like, all game, and now he's still switched on, and that's a great sign of a keeper, because it's so easy for him to switch off when they've had to do nothing all game, but he's on it like all the time, and that's got to be draining as well, to be so aware of everything for 90 minutes as a keeper when you're not actually active. Fair play to him. Yeah, we need to get him signed up permanently. He's what a player, like.
Yeah, I'll see. Darling Home Hands, there we go. Well done. Someone's got it. I'm just literally, I'm walking on holidays now thinking like, oh, thank God we got through that. I feel like I deserve a holiday after watching that game, because tell you what, it keeps you on the edge of your sheet. Oh, I say sheet then. Keeps you on the edge of your seat anyway. It probably does that as well, to be fair. Do that at all, Lewis. Welcome, mate. Yeah, oh yeah, what's this? Article. I've heard of that. Is he plays for Real Madrid, doesn't he? He's a Turkish geezer, isn't he? Am I just... No, it isn't. Turkish footballer Ardagula is a midfielder for Real Madrid. I'm not sure if he scored against us when Wales played him or something, but he's a class player. But I'm not sure who he's referring that to.
He's just Timo version of Ruben Colwell.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's Ruben Colwell from Wish.
Exactly.
Ashford buzzing for the lad, had some undeserved stick start season. No, I think the insults were undeserved. Like, no player deserves to be just insulted left, right, and centre. But like, I think the criticism was like valid. Let's say I never say criticism deserved, right? But like, I think it was valid to criticize him, because he did have a patch where it was a bit shaky for him, and the man just took him out the firing line for a bit. Same with Osho, and he came back. And he's back to his usual best. And I thought Ashford was going to be a real talent for League One, and I thought he'd be player of the season, but there's so many players you could probably give it to at the moment. I mean, my top 3, if I was to give my top 3 for player of the season so far, is Nathan Trott's got to be there. I'd say Ryan Wintle, and then
Joe Bagan for me. Bagan's
I don't know.
He's so
I would say
consistent.
Dylan Lawler. Yeah, Bagan as well. Dylan Lawler's slightly less consistent, but I just think how we're gonna keep hold of Dylan Lawler, I have no idea.
It's crazy to think, though, for some of these, it's their first season in men's first team professional football.
Yeah.
Like, they've been in the academy for a while. Like, Capaccio, he didn't really feature much last year because he got, he got injured, didn't he? So he struggled with his fitness then. But, like, you see, like, Capaccio coming through. But Fico's feature for us this year, and he's looked brilliant, to be fair to him. You've got Joel Colwell making his first season with the Cardiff first team stuff. Been fantastic. Lola making a step up. It's Matt Turner when we're called upon. It's been great to see the academy producing again.
Go on then. In the comments, and as well as you, Reece, right? In the comments, give me your top 2 or 3 sort of like players of the season contenders right now. So who would you say? And guys in the comments as well, don't just say what we want to say because you feel like you want to be right. I want to get your opinion on who your top 2 or 3 player of the season contentions are. Go on, Reese.
Oh, for me, Joe Bagan, hats down. I think he's Mr. Consistent for us. I mean, it all started last year for me, if I'm honest. Right? I said at the time when we played Swansea and they were down to an off at 11 minutes, the first thing he did was run out of the ball and Bagan smashed him. Took him out, got up, and I was in. He's in the game at that point. And since then, he's not looked back. For me, it'll be Bagan, Trot, because again, let's be honest, he's like an octopus and he's catching everything. And Ryan Wintell, I think he's been absolutely standing for us. Everything ticks because of him. He's dropping deep. I feel for Ruben because he'd probably be in with the mix. However, the injury means now he's going to miss out, but others are going to step up now
and they have done so far.
Yeah,
5 wins in the last 5 games.
Exactly.
So I'm glad we're not just relying on Ruben to do everything because I think, we have a lot of people who do idolize Ruben, like myself included. But no, I think we all say, Ruben's crucial to the squad or that, but I think it's nice to know that we have got players who can fill in the spot quite comfortably. I think we do miss, obviously, there's certain things we miss with Ruben. I think, it's just the unpredictability with him. He does a bit too much sometimes, but if I'm being honest, if it won 5 out of 5 without Ruben, I think he was in one of the games. It makes us think like, when he does come back, then he's got to be even better because he's not going to just be chucked straight back into the squad, is he? He's going to make sure he's fit first of all, then he's match fit, then he can also compete with whoever else is taking his place. And whether we'll see Kellyman come January, I don't know. I like to think we'd keep him to the end of the season, but I'm a 50-50 on that one.
It's a good thing to have as well when players are performing. Now Ruben's out, players are performing so well. Because I think sometimes if they're struggling, it's easy for a player, I'm not saying this is Ruben, but it's easy for a player to come back and go, they struggled at me, I can just slot back in now, I'm going to work hard to get back in the team, I'm back in the team because of what I've done before. And I suppose it's great to see that he'll come back and go, shit, I got to up my game now because the player's done so well. And that'll benefit him and us as well then, I mean? So it's a good thing to have like that.
Sorry, Cage, I'm not getting your comment up about your player of the season contention. But we'll get CCFCO2 out. Hobart, Chambers and Matey. Hey, where's Matey now? Is he? No, his Minamoto went to Reading, back to Reading.
I think Matey was Qatar, Saudi. I love the photo as well. That's brilliant, that is.
Who's that? I can't.
Sopranos.
Trot's been sensational a little bit. Yeah, this entire podcast is just sort of like us praising Trot, if I be honest. Brian, Barry, and Murphy. I like that. Horvath and Kanga. Oh yeah, El Ghazi. I always say about we don't like to insult players, but it makes a difference when you've gone from Horvath, Kanga, and El Ghazi to players who are a fraction of the age more or less, and they're doing well better of a job. And I don't know what there's down to. Maybe different motivations. Maybe some were more focused on other things in football. I don't know, but.
You say that, and you think of the lineup last year, right? Let's say now Matey's up top, right? And you compare him to Salek. Salek and Matey, both target men, both strong lads. Defenders are trying to pull them all over the place. I think Salek does more for me. His movement is more intelligent. His runs off the ball is a bit more intelligent. He is, he was charging down the midfield with the ball back, charging on the keeper to try and close down the pressure. I don't think Matey did that to me. I mean, no one ever questioned Matey's commitment and dedication. He worked his socks off. He just lacked the quality. You look at Horvath, as a keeper, and then you look at that Trot, and you're thinking there's a world of difference there. The team last year compared to this year, I mean, this team this year slaughters it, last year's team. I genuinely believe that. I mean, no offense. I mean, look at Chambers this year compared to last year. 2 different players.
Yeah.
Two different players. We had a glimpse of it today, mind, with his attempt at a first touch, and that completely missed, went over him. And they
high kick, drop kick.
Yeah, there was a bit of old school Chambers came in, but after that, I think he settled back down again, sorted himself out, and he's back to normal and back to being himself, and now cleaning up the lines, win the ball, bring the ball forward, and brilliant.
you can't ask for, or is it you can't have your cake and eat it too, can you? Like, or whatever the saying is, you can only have so much of it. But yeah, no, I think we're really missing you, as what Jonathan said. You're missing Leandro Bacuna and Gary Medina. I forget about Leandro Bacuna. He had a few games where he'd be like, oh, you know what? There's something there in him. And it never fully got all the way. But I kind of wish we signed his brother, really, from he's at Birmingham.
I always remember, right?
Juninho.
Was it after Neil Harris was after Warnock, right? So Neil Warnock would play Bacuna right back. And Neil Harris comes in. We've got Harry Wilson, one of the best number 10s in the championship at the time. Magician. Neil Harris plays Harry Wilson on the wing and puts Bacuna in the 10. And I'm like, what? It was wild. I mean, looking at Bacuna, he did fucking nothing. And I remember one comment he made towards the end of his Cardiff career was, I want to get back in the Premier League because I want to go back to play in Europe again. And he just laughed, thinking, you're never going to play in Europe, mate. How do you expect to get there, like?
We're just going on a big sort of like a reminiscent run now. I literally mentioned Kenwyne Jones. I'll tell you what, one of the first games I went to see, I was telling my granddad earlier, right, is sometimes you just need someone to do a job. And Kenwyne Jones was someone who, like, you'd see him on the pitch for like 90 minutes, right, jogging between the two centre-backs, absolutely do nothing, right? I just remember, I'm pretty sure it was him. He'd just be jogging between there, doing almost nothing. And all of a sudden, he'd get the ball, he'd hit it, he'd score. And like you wouldn't see him the rest of the game then, and that was what the kind of players he was. And Zohore, right, he was someone where, in his heart, he was a winger, but in his body, he was a centre back. And the way he would dribble would be very unorthodox. And sometimes that'd be the bit of magic he had in the Premier League. He scored a few goals. One of the most unorthodox players ever. I mean, Junior Hoylett was probably one of the most traditional and the best wingers I've probably seen. And look, I haven't seen it all. I'm 23 years old. But like, he's someone who every time he got the ball, he thought he's going to do something. He's either going to cross it or he's going to curl it in. And, no matter what level he played at, he stepped up at. Mendes Lang's another one for me. He just had that deadly pace and similar bit to like Isaac Davis, who's just had that flair and everything. And he was really strong as well. Like, and there's certain players, I just think you can't have two, like, you're never going to have two Kenneth Zohores, are you? Like, there's never going to be a play like that again.
I was a bigger fan of Mendes Lang than Hoylett, and only because Hoylett was played on the left-hand side, and he would do something like Willock would do. He would always cut the inside, he would always cut inside. But Mendes Lang was an old school winger for me. He was fast.
Right footer on the right side.
And he was direct. And he would run at defenders. He would put the ball past them, and he would use his pace to get on the end of it. He was an old school winger, and that's what I like in football, is old school wingers.
Quickly show that one. Yeah, honestly, I think I just sort of reminisce all the sort of like forwards now. But look, I think the conveyor belt of youth prospect is still coming through. I think we got to be really patient with it. And like I don't know if we got many more cup games now. You've got the Carabao Cup, I think. Is that it then? I think it is.
We're up to the FA Cup. We're up to the Johnson's Trophy, whatever you call it, the Virtual Cup.
It used to be called the Papa John's, isn't it, or something like that? Or,
yeah. But again, so this now means for us now in January, Louis Giles, Nayakawa, all get them loans sorted when they got to play games. Because otherwise they're just going to stay in the under-21s otherwise and not really feature. So get them out on loan, get them playing games. Put a clause in there, they have to play so many games or clubs pay a fine. You've got to do it. Yeah.
Newport County, get them down there. Get them with Ryan Hey, let's be honest, if they want to farm from our club, it's good first team experience. And
it's going to be, if you do send players alone to something like that, it's going to be a different kind of learning experience because Newport are going to lose every game at the end of the season. Let's be honest, they're rubbish. They're going down. They're at the Football League, Newport County, yeah. I mean, and no one will miss them. But what is so? If you're fighting relegation every week, I really don't care what I'm not.
Carry on.
But again, if you're fighting relegation every week, it's a different mentality you've got to build and a different kind of pressure to then say a team that's mid-table with nothing to play for. You're not really facing relegation. You're not chasing promotion. Just a mid-table team. So if you do get them out there, make sure they play every week or make Hugh Jenkins pay up. But the reason they're there is because Hugh Jenkins won't pay. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway, I think we've gone over the time, to be fair. There's been absolute joy to come on tonight, and I see you just step in last minute. I will just say now that the Dave Jones, when I've got confirmation from Side Out, is out for the members only tomorrow. So Dave Jones interview, which should be really exciting. I'll get that a watch, definitely. That's out to the members only tomorrow. And then for everyone else who isn't a member, they will get it, but it'll be a bit later. It'll be sometime over the Christmas period. And I've heard there's some other little Easter egg. I say Easter eggs, can't say that. You know what I mean, Easter eggs. But some Christmas presents over Christmas period anyway. But yeah, thank you all, guys. Nice to see a new member join as well. Thanks everyone for joining tonight. There's been a bunch of comments, and I'm really sorry if I couldn't get around to all of yours. But it's just nice to see it's a nice problem to have. Loads of green names in there tonight. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. Reese, it's always been a pleasure. Thank you for joining me.
Perfect. Top of the league. Taking the piss, and we're Welsh. What can we say?
Let's go. Hey, he's got 9 p.m. now. We're all right.
Exactly.
Right. So, guys, see you all soon.
This channel is powered by an incredible membership community on Cardiff City World and patreon.com/AcePodcastNation. Becoming a member unlocks exclusive rewards from early access to live event tickets, bonus content, and even the occasional inside transfer scoop when we get it. But more importantly, it allows us to bring you top quality Cardiff City content 7 days a week. Across those 7 days, we're talking match previews, exclusive interviews, instant match reactions, the breakdown podcast, tactical deep dives, the spotlight series, Bluebirds Rewind, Academy Focus, and just so much more. Led by myself, backed by an army of passionate Cardiff City fans, this is content created by fans for fans. Balanced, professional, and 100% all about the club we all love. If you enjoy what we do, then join the community today and support what we are doing as we help to keep Cardiff City World flying high.